It's Sunday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for Browns football. It's time for fantasy football start sits, hashtag Ask Andy, and of course, the parlay party. Build the ultimate NFL betting ticket. Let's go.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara, the sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Shabba-lubba hub.
It's gonna be sick.
Welcome, everybody, to the show. It is Sunday, and we are ready for some NFL football. Ready for Browns football, I guess, right? 2 1-5 teams. The first ever time that two left-handed Hawaiian quarterbacks are starting against each other. And I'm sure this is the most unappealing conditions for them and, quite frankly, for many fans. Like 90% chance of rain in Cleveland today. 35-mile-an-hour wind, supposed to be, by all accounts, horrible as far as weather-wise. That wet, kind of chilled. And tickets also, I saw this morning, resale tickets to the game as low as $9. So if you're in the Cleveland area and you thought, hey, you know what, I want to go to a Browns game this year and I don't want to spend a lot of money, waterproof coat might be the way to do it, right? Hey, we got T-Wolf in the house. Rick, how's it going, brother? Thunder Wolf put a great question in the hashtag Ask Andy on X, at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81. We'll be answering that question for you, Thunder Wolf, in a little bit. Jump in the chat. Notifications on. Subscribe to the channel. Share it too. Share it to your buds. I love when we get the chat rocking and rolling. We're talking fantasy. We're talking Browns. We're talking NFL best bets, questions, comments, your picks, all that good stuff. So share that. Notifications on. Follow on X at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, Instagram and TikTok at AndyMCSports. Remember to check back after Browns games. My instant reaction video where I'm usually disappointed and pissed off. Will that be the case today? Who's to say? Probably. My confidence level is 0. And I've been trying to speak out confident positivity more so lately. But really the only thing you can talk about for this Browns team is hope. And sadly, hope is not a strategy. We got nothing to go on, folks. Okay? Here's what we're looking at. And we'll get to hashtag Ask Andy. Get your fantasy football questions in. Pop them in the chat. Weather is going to be tough to play. And Rick says, yeah, man. Look. So here's the thing with this weather. What does bad weather, windy, especially when it's you have tiny quarterback. And Tua's, very accurate, but at short distances. It's running the football a lot. Now, we would say that's common sense, right? Hey, you got a real good-looking back in Quinshon Judkins. Why don't you run the ball a lot, Kevin Stefanski? Well, that is common sense, and sadly, common sense doesn't seem to equate and match up with the Cleveland Browns, especially this year. Well, I shouldn't say especially, in most years, but this year, you throw the ball 52 times with a rookie 5'9", and you don't help out your terrible O-line on TJ Watt. You could have run the ball a lot more. You were down, so what? You weren't down by a lot, Kev. Run the ball. My fear is that these stupid brainiacs, the Browns are the dumbest smart people I've ever met. Well, I haven't met them, but you know what I mean. In that, they're all Ivy League, right? We've talked about it before. Paul DePodesta, chief strategy officer, and I'll trade this player for a 5th-round pick. I'll get all these nice picks. The problem with getting picks is, that's great, but if you can't select good players, it doesn't work out well. Now, Andrew Berry had a good draft this past year so far, but you're still missing a bunch of key areas, left the O-line exposed. So you got to run the ball with Quinshon Judkins, like, all the time. Running the ball helps out poor pass-protecting offensive line. It's been proven across decades. Run Quinshon Judkins. And a little creativity, Kevin Stefanski, which you're supposed to be known for, wouldn't hurt either. Not right up the middle. How about different angles? Run the freaking ball. Also, why that's a good idea, no matter what the weather was, the Dolphins are literally last ranked team in run defense, allowing an average of 168 yards per game. That's why I'm terrified the Browns are going to say, oh, they expect us to run. We're going to throw it a whole bunch in bad weather. I would not be surprised. We've seen that happen before. Remember a couple years ago when it was the New Orleans Saints came to town? Terrible weather. Should have run the ball. Nope. Let's throw it a bunch. Kevin Stefanski and Mike McDaniel on the Dolphins are the two coaches who are on the hottest seats. And now that we had the first domino fall of Brian Callahan getting fired in Tennessee, do we see something go to the losing coach today? If the Browns lose, I still think they let Kevin Stefanski finish the year. But at the very least, they would have to go past the Patriots next week into the bye. The Dolphins have a long way to the bye, but man, they look like they are toast. Browns have Rick saying there, T-Wolf, Browns need to pressure Tua from all sides. Their D is good enough to force a few turnovers. I agree, Thunderwolf. Here's the thing. Other teams have gotten smart to the Browns D-line, and what they do is what the Browns should do. Pittsburgh, what'd they do? They put a big extra old lineman to help neutralize Myles Garrett. Nothing fancy. It's what they did. Browns refused to do that for some reason. I don't know why. Put Aiden Huntington back there, the big guy. Why aren't you using him more? That big versatile weapon. This offense is boring. It is useless. It is not effective. Period. I don't get it. But you're right. The defense is good enough. Now, the slop, the footing, how's that going to work? You have to – Jim Schwartz and Myles Garrett getting pretty opinionated out there. He's saying, look, move me around. Be creative. I don't know why Jim Schwartz wouldn't do that. Yes, move Myles around. He is the top dog, right? And then when you do that, you got different combinations you throw. You got Collins, Mason Graham, Alex Wright's been real good. McGuire. Like, mix and match, man. Come on. Spice it up a little bit here. Like, mix up this thing. Especially when it is going to be run heavy. Likely. You know, the Dolphins, good fantasy day for running backs, I think, here in this game. H.A. and Judkins. But I have no confidence. This Browns team, guys, has not reached 20 points in 11 games. 11 straight games going back to last year. 11! With an offensive coach. Since getting rid of Joe Flacco, 2 games, their per-point game average has dropped even further. 13.6. So people saying the Dolphins defense can't stop anything. I agree. But the Dolphins can score over 20 points, and that seems all that you need to do. Browns can win this game, but do they have the buy-in? Will they stick to the run? Can Kevin Stefanski shake whatever cobwebs are in his brain and get back to this? Because his offense looks absolutely useless. And it doesn't look it. We've seen it. But I'm with you, Thunderwolf. I'm with you, brother. Like, you need a pressure Tua from all sides, absolutely, because he gets the ball real quick. Real quick. High completion percentage. Short passes. So what do you got to do? You got to make sure that linebacker core is covered. Don't let any of those quick. You're going to have to play tight. I don't want to see these cornerbacks playing 10 yards off the ball. Play them tight. Jam them. Then you got to really push with that front four. Send the linebacker, whatever. Pressure him from all sides, like you said, Thunderwolf, right? Pressure from all sides. In the middle, you got to push him back. You got to come around the edge because his release is quick. And we saw Aaron Rodgers was able to get that quick release. And Miami's going to put an extra guy back there, right? But you have to get quick. This is the strength of this team. So, Jim Schwartz, you're a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. Come on. Last week, you didn't act like it. That defense did nothing. T.J. Watt beat Myles Garrett head-to-head again. I want to pissed off Myles Garrett. Seems like he is. Put him in a position to eat. Let him get one. Force it. And I think you get Myles Garrett an early sack. Then everybody else is going to feel the energy. If you have it again, where guys are just sitting around, almost getting to the quarterback, letting Tua dink and dunk on you, it's going to happen, man. Then you're going to get frustrated again. Jam Waddle. Okay? Jam any of the other receivers in there. Malik Washington. You got to be tight at the line. And that Tyson Campbell guy, I thought did well, but they're going to teach him, they said, to look for the ball on throws. This is going to be a slippery ball. And then you got to be tight on the run. Carson Wentz has to have a big day. Has to have a big day. 35-mile-an-hour winds, 90% chance of steady rain. Oh. Here's an interesting fact I want to bring up. Dolphins in the red zone are 20 yards and in, of course, have scored touchdowns on 12 of 16 possessions in the red zone. 75% touchdown percentage, second in the league to Philadelphia's. Top passer rating in the red zone belongs to Tua. 20 of 27, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. Meanwhile, Jim Schwartz's defense, dead last. The Browns defense, dead last. For as great as we want to make them, dead last in red zone defense. 12 touchdowns in 15 possessions inside the 20. So we have a conundrum, right? The second best team in the league in red zone efficiency versus the worst defense in allowing touchdowns. Well, don't let them get to the 20, brother. Don't let them get to the 20. There's Griff. How's it going, buddy? There we go. Griff in the house. Griff is cooking. I'm thinking for this game, guys, with the weather, only starts. I might say Jaden Waddle put in there for PPR because you probably don't have a better option. Running back heavy. Quinshon Judkins, A-Chain, and Waddle. And that's it. It's going to be messy. It's going to be windy. I think you pick the defenses for both teams potentially as far as streaming. Browns and Dolphins. Browns defense probably with the edge. But they got to get to Tua. There you go, boys. Little quick bets, and we'll get to some fantasy football here. We'll build our ultimate betting ticket. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this Dolphins-Browns game. Browns somehow favored by 2.5. They can't score. They're averaging under 14 points. I'm not betting on a team or anything in that case. However, over under 34.5. Guys, I'm feeling we smash the under. This has the stench of a 13-10 stinker. Defense is sloppy. Maybe we add a little prop in there of defensive turnovers. But the only part of this game I feel confident in betting on is the under on the point total, 34.5. Like with that weather, with that wind, the stands are going to be close to empty. People trying to resell their tickets for $9, $10, $11. It's just going to be a sloppy slugfest, which the Browns can win. If it can be kept low scoring, that's what this team needs because they can't score points on their own. But you have to game plan better. This offense and Kevin Stefanski, I don't know, man. Too many people in his head. I don't know how you take that off, and nothing is happening. Clearly not Joe Flacco's fault. We saw him ball out. Andrew Berry should be fired on the spot for that. You helped the division rival for a useless future 5th-round pick. You got to have those precious picks. And Joe Flacco made you look like an ass. And Kevin Stefanski, not Joe Flacco's fault. Worse O-line than the Browns. Bengals put up 33 points. Now, you got better receivers, but not acceptable. Let's hope they can get creative. All right. Let's move on to some fantasy football stuff. We'll dip back to the Browns. Remember, you got fantasy football questions, get them in the chat. Pop them in there. Also on X, at AndyMC81, at SickPodBrowns. Let's get – this is a tough day for injuries, as usual. So if we look today, we got to remember – oh, yeah, we got the London game on. Rams up 14-0 on the Jags in the second. Stafford, couple touchdowns. Picked him up. Oh, no, I didn't get him in it. I was thinking I got him in a trade. I got Jordan Love. On bye, we got the Bills and the Ravens, right? So make sure you are planning accordingly. That is one big loss at quarterback. Now, injury-wise, we're going to be taking a little peek. Also, we'll get to the parlay party in a bit, like I said, but is there anything more of a lock than the Patriots and a returning Mike Vrabel in dismantling the Tennessee Titans who just fired Brian Callahan? That's the lock beyond locks. There is no way he loses that game. Famous last words. So here's an interesting thing. Actually, I'll save this for Ask Andy. But the running back situation in Carolina for today. Fantasy football implications. We're going to get to that in a sec. Injuries. Patriots Stephon Diggs listed as questionable due to a chest injury, is expected to play versus the Titans. Eagles Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, listed as questionable for Sunday due to a heel injury, is expected to play. That's a big get for the Vikings. Now, for the Raiders, Brock Bowers, doubtful for Sunday's game due to his knee injury, not expected to play versus the Chiefs per source. This is from Adam Schefter, ESPN. Raiders on a bye week next week. Then Bowers will be able to return. Jacoby Myers also listed as questionable. Trey Tucker, and more importantly, Ashton Giante-Day. You can put, I would confidently put Trey Tucker in that flex spot right now. I just looked. He's available still in 51% of Yahoo leagues. Flex spot, you're in a pinch on a bye, or just in general, Trey Tucker might be there. Who else are you going to throw it to? It's Giante and Tucker. That's it. That's all you got. Kyler Murray is expected to return to play, after Arizona's bye week. Okay, so he'll be out this week. Jacoby Brissett, we know him in Cleveland. You know, look, would I take – I had a situation this week in one of my leagues. Geno Smith or Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett can be efficient. I'd rather go Jacoby this week. I'd rather go Jacoby versus Dallas than Geno versus the Chiefs defense. Josh Jacobs listed as questionable due to illness and a calf injury, now being considered a true game time decision. Keep an eye on that. True game time decision for Josh Jacobs. Emmanuel Wilson would expect to be the starter if he does not play. Let's see here. Okay. I don't think there's anything else too much injury-wise. Oh, Christian Kirk out for a Monday night's game at Seattle. George Kittle, activated off injured reserve, is expected to play against the Falcons for tight end trouble, right? That's not too bad. And we'll just make sure. I just want to make sure we're up to date. Browns in their all-brown uniforms. That was what they wore the one other time when they won at home. When I was down there week 3, the Green Bay Packers. What do we got, Thunderwolf? Also consider one of the Commanders' wide receivers this week playing the porous Dallas D. Yes, I agree, and we'll get to that in a little bit too. Actually, you know what? Producer Shane, let's get to a little hashtag Ask Andy. Let's go. All right, let's pop it up, baby. This is coming from X at SickPodBrowns at AndyMC81. I think my Nick Chubb jersey fell there. There we go. Little gift from the Browns. Let's see, that stays up there. All right. From Thunderwolf, our guy. Mention it. Which 3 of 4 of these guys should I play? Giante versus KC, Mason versus Philly, Bill Krosky-Merritt versus Dallas, Dowdle versus the Jets. Hashtag Ask Andy. So 3 of 4. So this is what's interesting. Giante, absolute smash. Has to happen because, like I said, Brock Bowers, it's him and Trey Tucker. That's it. They have to get volume. They have to. Mason versus Philly. We have Jalen Carter back. Not great, but Jordan Mason, lead back. Got to play Mason. Krosky versus Dallas. He has been a real roller coaster. But you look at Dowdle. I mentioned this earlier. Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard is back. Dave Canales, the head coach, said he would not say which one would start. Which one would be the lead back? Is he being cute? Is this a split? Dowdle, 30-plus fantasy points back-to-back weeks. You'd think that would be the obvious play. But is it a split? Is it a hot hand situation? That spooks me a bit. But I'll still take my chances with Dowdle over Krosky in this case because of his hot hand and hope that they go there. So give me Giante, Mason, Dowdle in that one. All right, let's get to another one there, Shane. See what we got. From at Rich Hullsell 24. Which Rams, Commanders, wide receivers do you dart throw with? Hashtag Ask Andy. Now, here's the tricky part. We're going to look. I'm going to pull up the depth chart here. Okay? And it's Commanders and Rams. So so with the Rams, the 2 choices, Jordan Whittington, Tutu Atwell. Atwell, sky high ceiling, rock bottom floor. Could run an 80-yard touchdown, could get 2 passes for 10 yards. Jordan Whittington is the safer play. Depends on what your risk reward is, how much you can risk. If you can be a little spicy and you feel confident in your lineup, then put Tutu in there. And be like, all right, if he bottoms out, not going to kill me. If you're looking for a little bit better of a floor because Puka Nacua is out, so you're looking for under Devontae Adams, Jordan Whittington is the safer play. Higher floor, lower ceiling. So if you need to be a little bit safer, Jordan Whittington is the one for me. Commanders, this is getting a little dicey. All right. Now let's look at the depth chart here for the Washington Commanders, and more importantly, who's missing. Terry McLaurin, out. Deebo Samuel, out. Zach Ertz, game time decision. So we got, for receiving options, Luke McCaffrey, who has scored several touchdowns over the last 3 weeks, but he has caught literally 1 to 2 balls. And that's as much touchdown dependent as you can get. Then Chris Moore has gotten a little more volume. Jalen Lane. I think we're looking again at a situation sort of like with the Rams. I think Chris Moore gives you a higher floor, lower ceiling. I think Luke McCaffrey, if he scores you a touchdown, it's going to get you, 10 to 14 fantasy points depending. But if he doesn't, he's going to get you 3 fantasy points. So it depends on your risk reward. Moore and McCaffrey, the only plays there. If Ertz plays, I think he becomes the top target. That is something we're going to have to track. If he does play, I'd smash Ertz in there. If not, then you're getting Bates. Ben Sinnott hasn't done, the rookie. I hope he's able to jump in a little bit more. But those are 2 that I have. Now, a tight end that we need to pay attention to. I'm going to bring him up right here. Where is it here? For the Chargers. And again, I'm loving Trey Tucker, by the way, again, for the Raiders. Now, where are we here? Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Okay, here. For tight end, stupid computer. Come on. There we go. Give me the depth chart. There we are. Tight end. Oronde Gadsden II has leapfrogged Will Dissly. Is coming from our buddy Patrick on Instagram. I said, keep an eye on this guy. And I think he is, I want to see his ownership here. Let's see. What's his name there? How do you spell it? O-R-O. I thought A. O-R-O-N-D. There we go. Gadsden versus Indianapolis. Available in 98% of Yahoo leagues. The target share leapt up. And we see it's not an outlier. Week 3 against Denver, 7 targets, 5 catches, 9.6 fantasy points. Then low, 2 catches, 1 catch. Last week, 11.8 fantasy points in the win against Miami. 7 catches, 8 targets. That is significant. That is a breakout game. He's been a check down target and pretty reliable. The offensive line is in shambles for the Chargers. So you need a quick go. This is something where I think you at least want to get him on your roster, maybe for bye week to see. Could be a one-off, maybe nothing. You got Indianapolis, Minnesota, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, then they're bye. But Gadsden, I wouldn't say a must start today, but if you are in trouble, if let's say you're a Zach Ertz guy and you need someone quick, he is going to be there. He's only rostered in 2% of leagues. Right there. Hey, Pat, there we go. Rams game has already started in Europe. Yep. Yeah, we got that bad boy going on. We got that sucker going on. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So too late to have him. Yeah, I know. 14-0 left in the let's see who's getting the points in that one so far. See if we're looking good. Blake Corum has a couple touches for the Rams. So far, Adams, Devontae Adams, 2 catches. Whittington, 1 catch for 0 yards. Woo! Tutu Atwell, nada. Still early. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdowns. Who's got the touchdown? Devontae Adams and Kanata Mumpfield. Anyone have Kanata Mumpfield on their fantasy roster? Good Lord. For the Jags, this is why you got to love and hate fantasy football. Leading rusher so far for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is it Travis Etienne? No. Is it Bayshul Tutin? No. It's tight end Parker Washington, of course. 2 rushes for 8 yards. Why not? Brian Thomas Jr., 2 catches for 7. Boy. Last London game, and I am very glad that is the last London game of the season there. These early ones. So, hopefully you got that in there. We'll see. Those London games are always weird, right? Patrick was asking on Instagram about Juwan Jennings and the 49ers. Now, let's look at this 49ers team, because and the Commanders are looking pretty similar. The injuries are so infuriating. Now we get George Kittle back. And I am shocked about the efficiency. And look, if you're a 2 QB league, Mac Jones is a must start. I've been impressed. Mac Jones. So you got Christian McCaffrey. Finally, a little bit of relief on the healthy side. Ricky Pearsall is out. Juwan Jennings in. Kendrick Bourne back. George Kittle back. Christian McCaffrey. And like I said, Jennings is there. With Kittle coming back, Jennings' values drops. Again, I think now that we see what the health situation looks like, I personally would rather go a Trey Tucker for the Raiders rather than a Juwan Jennings State, with the people back now, with us knowing that we got George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey healthy, and Juwan Jennings. I think that might be a little bit of a dip there, right? So that might be a little iffy. So that's, I'm just looking if there's any other update in injury stuff. I think we're looking decent today. Again, and for the Browns game, Judkins only, 8 chain for the Dolphins. I wonder if my guy Ollie Gordon, remember? I've been touting Ollie Gordon, future for Dynasty. He was so good, Oklahoma State. Terrible offensive line last year. I think if you get rid of Mike McDaniel and with the dysfunction there, this guy can be a heck of a player. Absolute heck of a player. With this weather, I would only say Waddle for the Dolphins, A-Chain for running back. And what a great season he's had. Right? He's been injury prone too, so he's a little, you're a little like, eh. What's the... Oh, and it looks like A-Chain could be on the trade block. Apparently there's a report the Seahawks would be willing to trade cornerback Rick Woolen for Dolphins running back Devon A-Chain, which would be cloud up further that running back situation in Seattle, right? Here's the one thing. I want to look at the Seattle running back group because I've gotten this question for the fantasy. I just want to make sure we're up to date on the injuries here. Yeah. So that would be a perplexing move if you added Devon A-Chain, because you have Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet in pretty much an exact 50% timeshare. They're each getting like 8-9 fantasy points a game. Useless. Why would you add A-Chain there? I don't get it. AJ Barner at tight end. Nice. Again, start option if you need it. Nick Chubb's taking a little fall here today. It's all right. It's okay, Chubb. We got you. AJ Barner, I like. Jackson Smith and Jigba, of course, you got to go. The running backs, again, like it should be Kenneth Walker, but where are we going with it, right? Like there's no option. So in any case, A-Chain for today, Waddle, A-Chain, Dolphins. That's it. For the Browns, it's just Quinshon Judkins, guys. That's Jerry Jeudy, droppable. David Njoku, injured. Harold Fannin Jr., if the weather was better, I'd say, yeah, like PPR. But again, without touchdowns, he's going to get you. You might have 7 catches. But he's only going to get you 7 to 9 fantasy points. Like, we're not going to hit 10. So that's really the issue where we're at. That's the problem, right? So that's the issue. We're going Judkins. We're going Waddle. A-Chain to start in that Seattle game. I don't like any of the running backs. I guess you go Walker. Colts, Josh Downs is out. I think you keep playing Keenan Allen, especially PPR. Right? Cowboys. Now, for Cowboy fans, for fantasy football owners, how important is this with CeeDee Lamb coming back? And I'm going to make sure that was listed as of yesterday. Let's make sure there's nothing. I was looking last night and didn't see anything negative. Where's our guy? Where's CD? I got him off of IR. Come on. I don't think that connected. I got to get CeeDee Lamb off of IR in my league. Did that yesterday. Didn't take. Let's just double check. Yes. CeeDee Lamb's back. Hallelujah. Javonte Williams has been sensational, by the way. I had him. I picked him up in 2 fantasy leagues as all right, depth, bye week guy. Javonte Williams has been rock solid. Now, does that change it all with CeeDee Lamb? I think it might even benefit him because now you have to pay extra attention. George Pickens' value, of course, drops, still playable. Jake Ferguson's value probably drops too. And that's unfortunate. I got Jake Ferguson in a league. And he's really stepped up. So I hope we get into a bit of a shootout so Dak has to spread the ball around a little bit, not give up on the run. I think there's an option where you have Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, and Jake Ferguson still putting up good fantasy points. Still putting up a good day. I got to make sure he gets moved out. Take care of that. There's Grant. How's it going, buddy? Oh, Grant with the weather report. Pop it up there, Shane. It's so windy here in Canton. I can't imagine how windy it will be up there in Cleveland. Grant, they're saying 35-mile-an-hour winds and 90% chance of rain. Is it raining right now for you in Canton there, Grant? Because this morning it looks like it hadn't come in yet, but the clouds looked ominous coming across Lake Erie coming up. So it's windy, and you got Dillon Gabriel and Tua. First time 2 left-handed Hawaiian quarterbacks have ever went head-to-head in an NFL game. Whatever history stat that's worth for you. I just hope we have some semblance of reality that the stupid analytics and spreadsheets people that are in Kevin Stefanski's ear realize and take into account weather. These players, this is what drives me nuts. These players, they're not computer bots. They're not little bits. It's people in situations. You shouldn't have had Gabriel thrown 52 times in Pittsburgh with no extra protection for TJ Watt. That's insane. Fireable offense right there. Fireable offense. If you don't run Judkins, Stefanski, just get on out of there, man. But are they going to change it? I have no idea. The stadium situation has been resolved with the city. Lawsuits dropped, which means Jimmy Haslam should now have his full attention on this football team, and it should be very concerning to him. Grant says no rain, just wind. Rain is supposed to be this afternoon. Yeah, so it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be a sloppy day. And, again, fantasy football-wise, we're not too thrilled on that front. But that's something to keep in mind. Grant, I don't know if you saw, there was tickets being resold as low as $9 to $11. I don't know who would want to sit out there. Like, if I had, you see commercials, if I had one of those, like, I don't know if they're actually really, but like super, like actually waterproof, right? And it's warm and it's coming off you and you can have it long and something to cover your legs and boots, or I don't know, if you're getting rain boots and whatever. If you can tough it out and you don't freeze to death there, or it's not, could be kind of fun. I'm just not a cold weather type of guy overall. But that's going to be, wouldn't get super excited over the options in that Browns-Dolphins game as far as fantasy-wise go. Checking, no other injury updates. You know what, guys? Let's do our parlay. Put on the party hats. Let's see if we can build that ultimate NFL betting ticket, okay? And I want to know your Browns-Dolphins predictions. I think the Browns can win this game. They could have won most of the games this year. But incompetent coaching and game planning combined with idiocy out of the front office with Andrew Berry gives me no confidence. So I think the Dolphins win 13-10. Hope I'm wrong and the Browns win 50 to 30. But the Browns can win this game if they follow sound strategy. They have not, Kevin Stefanski has not shown he's following anything that makes sense. We're seeing that typical, what we don't forget about Hugh Jackson, all these guys. They start doing things that don't make sense and they're on their way out, right? And that's really what we've been seeing from Kevin Stefanski, which is a shame and it's concerning. All right, let's pull up the DraftKings Sportsbook app here, friends. And let's build, I gotta log back in here, our ultimate betting ticket. Our parlay party will go big. See what happens. See if there's any little boosts or anything we can get. All right. Location verified. Hallelujah. All right, let's go. Here we go. Let's start. Gabriel under 225 yards passing. Thunderwolf put in there. I like that. I like that, Rick. You know what? Let's look at the little. Let's do two separate ones. Let's do this Browns game. I'm going to do under 34.5 points. I think that's dynamite. We'll do a mini Browns ticket. Darren Waller. This game with the bad passing, I don't like with the bad conditions, but overall has been really good. Dillon Gabriel, alternate passing yards. Yes, we're going to go under 250. What did you say? 225, under 225. You get plus 178, 200 plus. We can do that. Receiving yard. Let's see if there's any rushing. Rushing for 8-chain. The Browns have, you know what? I'm going to stay away from 8-chain because the Browns, like, he could be catching, but the Browns have handled running backs this year. Now it's wet. Does that do anything? I don't know. Where's Judkins? There we go. Judkins rushing. 50 plus yards, over 60. We go 580. Has to be over 70 minus 310. Let's go 70. Right? He has to, right? If we want to do extra safe, do 580. Plus 722. Plus 722. Okay. So we put a $5 bet on that, 36-14. That seems reasonable. Right? If we do under 34.5 total points, Browns Dolphins, Dillon Gabriel, 200 or more passing yards, Quinshon Judkins, 60 plus yards, plus 722. That's pretty good. That's not bad. So let's, as we're building the main ticket here, and if you guys got any smash bets, let me know. I'm going to do under that 34.5. Saints, Bears. Bears favored by only 4.5, which is interesting. In Chicago. The Bears, I would think, should be able to cover that over the Saints, no? I'm going to say Bears to cover 4.5. The money line's minus 210. Let's get some value. Eagles, Vikings. Jalen Carter back, like I said. Eagles 2.5-point favorites. Vikings with the, you know, I think Eagles straight up. They're McCarthy went, you know, Eagles ready to get back on track. And I think it's going to be a big day. Big day for Saquon Barkley. Eagles have been floundering. Remember, they floundered last year. And what did they do to get back on track? Fed Barkley the rock a lot, and it snapped them out of it, and off they went to the Super Bowl. Let's look at a little double down on that. Anytime touchdown, I don't know. But if we're getting, let's get Saquon rushing yards here. Give me some rushing. Jordan Mason, I like today, even though it's a tough line. Here we go. Saquon, if we go 70 plus yards, minus 148. 80 gives us 110, but if we go 70, I don't think that's extreme. Raiders, Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 12.5 divisional game. Like, I know, but man, what's Pat saying? They said nearly 20 years since the last two left-handed QBs played against each other. Wow. And first time that they're both Hawaiian. So history in Cleveland this afternoon, people. This is going to be a dog of a game. Well, glad I went week 3. That's why I go early in the season, because you still have some hope, and the weather's usually pretty good. Chiefs minus 850. Oh, we're getting no value here. Ooh, let's just take the Chiefs money line minus 850. Let's add it. Panthers, Jets. Okay. If we believe it is very unlikely for teams to go winless, they got to get one. Jets at home, 1.5-point dogs versus the Panthers. If the Jets are going to win a game, does it not have to be today? What do you guys think? Am I putting this on our Parlay Party Ultimate NFL Betting Ticket? Jets money line over Panthers. Or you like the Panthers? Or are we staying away from it? Over under set at 41.5. Panthers 1.5-point favorites. I guess if we like the Panthers, you take the plus 100. Oh, we'll come back to that one. I don't know if I want to. I might bet on that one separately. Patriots, Titans, my gosh. It's smash of smashes. Vrabel revenge game, minus 102 by more than a touchdown, 270. Can I put both on there, or were they? No, they'll take that away. Yeah. We'll do minus 102 for Patriots to win by a touchdown over his old team. Now, Titans, you get the little boost from a new coach, but Vrabel, come on, man. He's got them cooking. He has got them cooking. We'll go Patriots 6.5. Broncos, Giants. Broncos at home. 8.5 might be too much. I kind of like the Jackson Dart spunk there. I think Broncos straight up win, minus 430, points 40.5. I think we'll go Broncos straight up, minus 430. Colts, Chargers. This seems like a bit of a trap game on our betting ticket here. Colts, man. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor. Holy cow. Chargers line banged up. Chargers the favorite. 48.5 over under. We got 24. So if each team gets 24, I think we go take the over on the points. What do you got? I think we take the over. The win, I'm thinking Colts, but I think we go over 48.5 points. Commanders, Cowboys. Cowboys at home, 1.5-point favorites. Commanders banged up. I think the Cowboys outlast them. Cowboys with CD Lamb back, minus 122. Let's do it. That's what I'm taking. Packers, Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett in there. I think he won't be turning the ball over. Packers by a touchdown. That seems decent. Josh Jacobs. Now, that's one of the ones we got to check. Josh Jacobs' game time decision. I have not seen anything yet as far as any updates. Because I got him on one of my fantasy teams. You have to track Josh Jacobs. Let's see the availability of Emmanuel Wilson. Because he's going to get the ring if Jacobs is out. Wilson. Oh, one M in Emmanuel. I spelled it. Okay. What's his availability? 14% rostered, up 10%. Yeah, he might be there. If your league allows same-day ads, I go get him. If you're Jacobs, even if you're not, if you're not a Jacobs owner, you need a running back. I might try that after the show. Okay, so we got. I think Packers will take straight up over the Cardinals. 7. On the road, I'm not loving the touchdown, but we'll take minus 350. 49ers, Falcons. Kittle back. Mac Jones cooking. Falcons are weird. Falcons are a weird team. Win by a bunch. Lose by a bunch. I think the 49ers, minus 106, will take the money line. Better price on that. Buccaneers, Lions. Baker, I love you, baby, but, man, those wide receivers are too dinged up. Lions, minus 290, straight up money line. And the second finale, Texans, Seahawks, Seattle at home. Let's go minus 178 for the Seahawks. That's a 13-leg parlay. We just left out Panthers and Jets. Ooh, boy. Ooh. You know what? And we can add in right now, live, Rams, Jags, Rams up 21-0. I'm going to pop that in there. Minus 4,500. Plus 44,766. I can add a 50% boost, which makes it 67,000. Wow. Do we do that? Or do I save the boost? Woo! Oh, what do you got, Thunderwolf? You're a Niners fan. You're going Falcons. Falcons. Warner, Bosa out. Yeah, Niners D. Tough bet this week. Okay. So you're saying Falcons. Wow. Falcons straight up, Rick? Maybe we do them to cover that 1.5 then. Okay. I'm going to take them to cover the 1.5. Minus 102. Yeah, I dig it, but no, what's the one that won't allow me to do that? Oh, it's locked. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. So now we're at plus 45,275 non-boost. We'll see if we can save them straight up. Woo! All right, Rick, we're going to do it, baby. I'm with you. Let's ride. Let's hound the moon, Thunderwolf. Let's go. We'll do Falcons. We'll do Falcons. All right. If we put $5, we are plus 44,633. $5 bet wins us $2,238.68. Who's with me? Huh? I'm going to do it. Let's go. Should I do the boost? Let's do the boost, eh? Nah. I'll save the boost for something else. That's still pretty good. We'll take it. Let's see. It says placing bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook. You know what? There we go. It's in. It's in, baby. Plus 44,000. Woo! Me too, buddy. Hey, jump in with me, guys. Let's do the draft. Look, you put $5 on it. Why not? We got a 14-leg parlay there with all that. If you missed any of the selections when we're done the show, rewind. Go back and put it in. And we're going Rick, imagine if it comes down to your Falcons, your 49ers in that Falcons game. Woo, boy. Spicy. That's a good-looking ticket, guys. That's a good-looking ticket on the DraftKings Sportsbook. And, hey, Week 7, it's already going on. The Rams are Rick rolling the Jags. And every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks. Anytime TD rushes, live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's code 6sports to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
All right, people, there you go. Notes from Adam Schefter. J.J. McCarthy will still be out today and next week, it looks like. Carson Wentz back in the saddle, baby. And give Minnesota, just like they did with Sam Darnold, credit. Boy, man, at Kevin O'Connell. He is quarterback whisper. Isn't that what Stefanski was supposed to be? Coming from Minnesota, well, you kind of was that. And now it's just totally fallen apart. But Carson Wentz, you know, I'm not saying you play him in fantasy, but at least he's been good enough to make the pieces around him fantasy relevant. Also, I didn't know this. Dillon Gabriel, of course, squares off with Tua today In 2018, Gabriel broke Tua's all-time Hawaii high school passing record. The two quarterbacks previously squared off only once before, August 6, 2016, but the game was suspended in the first quarter after the stadium lights broke. How about that? A little interesting tidbit there. Yeah, so there you go. Again, I'm going to be keeping an eye out. Keep an eye out on Josh Jacobs. Game time decision. Josh Jacobs, big implications. Maybe you want to go get yourself some Emmanuel Wilson now if your league allows that type of ad. But hey, love you guys jumping in the chat, joining us this morning. You missed any of the Parlay Party betting ticket. Look, guys, we're almost at plus 45,000 on our Parlay Party NFL Ultimate Betting Ticket on the DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you haven't got it, guys, like I said, $5, $300 bonus bets. Use code 6sports. Do it now. Get in, but use some of those bonus bets for the Parlay Party. Let's do it. Have some fun today. Let's hope the Browns can squeeze. I don't care how. Let's just get a win, please. Please. Can we get a win? That would be tremendous. Going to be an ugly one today. If you got any other fantasy football questions, hit me up. Hashtag AskAndy on X. Follow us at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, Instagram at AndyMCSports, TikTok as well at AndyMCSports. Remember, check in after the game too, because it will have my instant reaction video, and we'll be back Tuesday for Under the Wire waiver wire pickups and to tee up the next Browns game. That'll be against the Patriots. Let's hope we're coming to W. Can I get a Can I use my Victory Monday mug again? Please. Anyway, thanks to all of you for jumping in. Come on, Browns. Let's see if they can do it. As always, go Browns.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.